Ahead on DC News Now at 4. Fallout from the devastating bridge collapse in Baltimore. Rescue efforts turn to recovery as the 6 workers who fell in the water are presumed dead.
These families are living a nightmare.
Plus, federal leaders pledging full support to rebuilding the bridge and the community.
The federal government will provide all of the support that Maryland and Baltimore need.
And local groups working to help those busy first responders. Our team coverage starts right now.
And thank you for joining us on this Wednesday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Tosin Fakile in for Annalisa Gale this afternoon. Before we get to our team coverage of that bridge collapse in Baltimore, we do want to start with some breaking news out of Northern Virginia. 2 women have been shot at a daycare center there.
Yeah, Northern Virginia reporter Max Marcella is on scene with the latest. Max, what do we know right now?
Well, Mark and Annalisa, we don't know a whole lot as this investigation is still in the very early hours. We do know that the Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis has arrived, and we'll be getting an update from him in just a matter of minutes. But take a look at this daycare center. You can see it's a massive police presence outside as police make sure that everyone inside, who was inside, who still is inside, is safe. What we do know is that 2 women were shot and they have non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect took off. Police say initially they believe in a green Dodge Ram. We know police are working to make sure everyone, again, still inside there is safe. This is a daycare in Springfield here in Fairfax County. We spoke with someone whose wife works at this daycare center, and he said when they heard of the shooting, it was just really scary. He said he flew down the road to try to get here to make sure everyone was okay, describing the anger he felt at the fact that someone would do this near where so many kids come to learn and to grow. So we really don't know all that much beyond what we just shared with you. We are expecting a press conference with Police Chief Kevin Davis in a few minutes, and we'll bring you what he says when he says it. Reporting live in Springfield, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
These families are living a nightmare, I just my heart is shattered for them because they're in an existence right now that they shouldn't have to.
Today, rescue efforts have turned to recovery efforts as officials say the 6 construction workers who fell into the water after a bridge collapse in Baltimore are likely dead. Drone video today showing the full extent of the devastation caused by that cargo ship crashing into the bridge's support.
And it's another day of recovery efforts in Baltimore, coming to terms with the truly catastrophic impact of the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
And we continue with our team coverage this afternoon. We're learning about the victims who likely didn't survive and hearing from the community as well as mental health experts in the wake of this tragedy. Such large implications moving forward.
The implications we just keep learning more about it. But we begin our coverage right now with our Randy Bass, who is in Baltimore once again this evening. Randy, what's the latest?
Yeah, Mark, Tosin, we're just steps away from the site of that catastrophic collapse, and certainly today rain and fog hindering those massive recovery efforts that are underway for those 6 missing workers right now. Divers were back in the water today right around 6 a.m. after poor conditions last night forced them to stop their search early on. Several degrees colder outside here today, too. Temps right around the mid-40s here in Baltimore. The water temperature in the cold Patapsco River also in the mid-40s. You can only imagine what those divers are experiencing as they search the cold river below. Today, no helicopters swirling overhead to aid in the search from above. Baltimore City's Fire Chief James Wallace says the massive unstable bridge debris sitting in the river and on the side of the cargo ship, the Dolly, is also posing problems in this massive recovery effort. Today, Maryland Governor Wes Moore underscoring the dangers those divers are facing right now.
They are in frigid conditions. They are down there in darkness where they can literally see about a foot in front of them. They are trying to navigate mangled metal. And they're also in a place that it is now presumed that people have lost their lives. So the work of these first responders, the work of these divers, I cannot stress enough how remarkable these individuals are.
Yeah, Maryland Governor Wes Moore says the #1 priority for both or altogether federal, local, and state officials all involved in this massive operation, is bringing closure to those 6 families awaiting word on their loved ones. Right now, no timeline for the rest of this recovery mission.
And Randy, it's just unbelievable the impact of this. What are you hearing about what comes next in this investigation and what's next for the Port of Baltimore?
Yeah, Tosin, we are awaiting an update tonight from the National Transportation Safety Board. They tell us they are still in the very early stages of this investigation. Today, Transportation Secretary Buttigieg gave another briefing about efforts that are already underway to help reopen the Port of Baltimore. He says the immediate focus is on reopening the port, mitigating any supply chain issues that are going to happen as a result of this massive and extended closure of the port, along with helping the 8,000 workers whose jobs are directly impacted by the collapse of this bridge. Live in Baltimore, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Randy, thank you, Randy. And Dave Laval continues our team coverage from Baltimore. Dave, what have we learned about the presumed dead from the collapse?
Well, good afternoon to you, Mark. We still don't have the names of the victims, but we do know more about where they came from before they arrived in the United States. Makeshift memorials have been placed along Fort Armistead Road, not far from the bridge where they worked, as a tribute to the 6 men. The executive director of CASA told us earlier today one of the men is from Honduras and lived in Owings Mills. The Guatemalan ministry in Baltimore announced 2 of the men came from there, while the Associated Press reports one of the men is from El Salvador and the other 2 men are from Mexico. One of the 2 men rescued after the bridge collapsed also came from that country. We have not been told the home nation of the other man rescued. Several of the victims worked with CASA. Executive Director Gustavo Torres said the men may have come from different countries, but they all shared one thing in common.
To have the American dream, to make a contribution to this nation, to make sure that their families also have a chance right over here. That is what we know about them.
Torres told us he'd like to see state lawmakers pass more legislation that protects construction workers on the job. Plus, more information about what's being done to help the families of the 6 missing men will be released sometime tomorrow. We're live in Baltimore. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, Dave, thank you for that report. We are going to switch gears now, taking a live look outside over Arlington. It is cloudy. It was rainy a little while ago. Let's get right over to meteorologist Damon Matson for a first look. And Damon, you know, we're seeing the same weather that they're seeing there in Baltimore, and it's probably not helping them.
Yeah, certainly, guys. That is the key thing here. Unfortunately, we have been dealing with some unsettled conditions this entire Wednesday. So for those ongoing efforts up in Baltimore, not great. And for those around the DMV going about just their day-to-day here, this rainfall has certainly been a nuisance. And check it out. It's all being brought on by this extremely slow-moving frontal boundary that is basically lingering right over us here as we go into the evening now, closer to your Wednesday night, and we've had just a line of rainfall situated primarily across the eastern half of the DMV. Once you go out to the west toward I-81 into the Allegheny front, then in western Maryland, West Virginia, hardly any rain, pretty much dry throughout the day. But this rain along and east of I-95 has been continuing. We saw quite the wave of steady rainfall over the last few hours, but that is exiting now, and we are seeing relatively dry conditions, a lull in the rain as we move on toward the evening here past this 4 o'clock hour. And here's that clear divide. Overall, the rainfall estimates out there, very light rainfall totals to the west, close to a ½ an inch for the day here around DC, and again up and down that I-95 corridor, just showing the spread we've had and who has picked up the rainfall and who has not. Now moving forward here over the next few hours this evening, a few isolated showers will be possible, but for the most part we will see dry conditions heading into the night. But a second wave of rainfall is expected to develop and make its way across the region later tonight, going into the day on Thursday. So with that next bit of rain on the way, how much longer are we going to deal with these soggy conditions? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. The Key Bridge collapse has local businesses bracing for potential impacts. And with the Port of Baltimore not accepting any ships, one nearby restaurant is worried about what could happen.
That's right. And DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg is in Baltimore with how Jimmy's famous seafood is reacting. Daniel, still a lot of people in shock about yesterday.
Yeah, Tosin, I talked with the owner of Jimmy's who says many of his employees use the Key Bridge every day to get to work, so seeing it gone is a tough sight to see. But he says they're going to get through this together. Now, the owner also talked with me that a lot of people who work at the port eat at his restaurant. Owner Tony Minadakis says short-term it's not good for business, but also worries about the long-term impacts, though he's offered the county executive assistance and recognizes they're not the only ones impacted. He says the people who work at the port are tough and says watching the community come together in a time of need has been amazing. Still, he knows the road ahead will not be easy for his business with customers and potential supply chain issues.
If they can't get work at the port and you have, supply chain issues and you're losing a lot of money a day locally, and I'm sure we're going to feel it coming from, all angles, even from our supply chain.
And so, of course, that is the impact on local businesses, local restaurants in the area. I also talked with some customers who are worried. They say they're going to be looking out for potential price increases as we talk about things like gas and other supplies that go over the bridge and on these barges that can't enter the port right now. We're live in Baltimore. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.